Welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers running back Max Hurleman, and goodbye running back Aaron Shamklin. Also, there's some leaks in the Pittsburgh Steelers 2025-2026 schedule for this upcoming season that I'm going to reveal in this video, so stay tuned. But first, before I get more into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also, like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers have made many roster changes within the last few days, and I went through two of them already, the signing of running back Trey Sermon and the signing of the offensive tackle that the Pittsburgh Steelers signed in Gareth Warren. Now, this is the official introduction to running back Max Hurleman, because Max Hurleman was signed to the Pittsburgh Steelers not too long ago, and in replace of running back Aaron Shamklin, who was released to make some room for Max. So, who is Max Hurleman? Well, let's introduce him to Steeler Nation. So, Hurleman began his collegiate career as a running back at Colgate, but he moved to receiver and later played cornerback and served as a punt returner for Notre Dame. That returner role was his primary role last season for the Fighting Irish. He averaged 6 yards on 23 punt attempts. Hurleman checked in at 5'11", 200 pounds, with 4.65 40-yard dash time at his pro day. He's the third tryout player who came in to rookie minicamp, tried to make the team, got the coach's eye, and ended up signing a deal. And he's the third player alongside Warren and Sermon. So, Hurleman is going to come in and be a player who's going to be a camp body. This isn't a player who has too many reps at the college level or any reps at the main level. So, unless he completely shows some flashes in preseason or training camp in Latrobe, then more than likely he may be a practice squad player or a player who ends up getting cut later down the road at 53-man roster cutdowns. So this isn't a player like Trey Sermon who has a lot of production at college or has production in the NFL who I can actually see making this team. Hurleman is probably just a body right now to be tackled when training camp rolls along. So he made the roster, so kudos to him for coming in, being a tryout player. It's a hard job coming in as a tryout player and actually making this team, but he did it. So obviously he caught the coach's eye. I've always said this. If you could catch Danny Smith's eye on special teams, then you have a chance to make this roster, and obviously that's what he did, because his main role at the collegiate level was special teams. So Danny Smith obviously liked what he saw and signed him to the main roster. So, moving over to the running back the Pittsburgh Steelers cut for Max Hurleman, because they had to make way for him. They released and waived Aaron Shamklin, who was on a reserve and future deal. Shamklin spent most of the 2024, this past season, on the practice squad and some time on the active roster. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, the fact that they cut someone who actually seen time on their main roster last season for this new guy is telling of how this new guy stood out in Max Hurleman. So Aaron Shamklin is a player who carried the ball 6 times for 17 yards in 3 games. He also had 4 kick returns for 101 yards with long of 32 yards this past season. But it wasn't good enough, and Hurleman takes his spot and is now his replacement on the roster. So enough with that. That was your introduction to Hurleman and the release of Aaron Shamklin, the new roster moves that were made recently. Now let's move into the Pittsburgh Steelers leaks in their upcoming schedule for this season, because the schedule will be revealed later on tonight. But right now we know some things. So let's just review and look at the leaks that have been coming out. And let's start off with week 1, because week 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers will face Justin Fields and the New York Jets in New York. And it's a reunion of Justin Fields to the Steelers, who's now on the Jets. And it can be a reunion if Aaron Rodgers signs with the Steelers, because then it'll be Aaron Rodgers versus his old team in the Jets and Justin Fields versus his old team in the Steelers. So that's the week 1 game for the Pittsburgh Pittsburgh Steelers at New York facing the Jets. Moving over to Week 2. Week 2 will be the Pittsburgh Steelers home opener, and it will be against the Seattle Seahawks. And this is familiar because years ago when Big Ben tore up his elbow, messed up his elbow, it was against the Seattle Seahawks. So this is not a good game in terms of bringing back memories, but in terms of a home opener, it's a solid game. And it's versus the Seahawks. So that's Week 2. Now, jumping all the way to Week 4, it will be versus the Minnesota Vikings. And this game will be the Ireland game, which will take place at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So this was officially announced by the NFL. So the Pittsburgh Steelers have that game in Ireland confirmed, and it's the Vikings, not the Green Bay Packers, in which many suspected. So Vikings in Week 4 on the road. Now, jumping to Week 7. We know this game will be a Thursday night game, and it will be against the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, this is a good sign because if you looked at the Steelers' schedule last season, all their AFC North opponents were in the later half of the season after the bye week. But Week 7 is an early AFC North game, and it looks like it won't be the same thing that happened last season, and that's a good sign. So, primetime game against the Bengals. Let's see what this has in store when the time comes. So Week 7 on the road against the Bengals in primetime. Now, the next game we know is Week 15. Week 15 will be versus the Miami Dolphins. And this game will be another primetime game. And it's Monday night. This was revealed by Miami Hurleman. So, this game was leaked. And once again, it's a primetime game on the road. Now, Week 16, via Andrew Filipponi, this game will be at the Detroit Lions. So, this is the last game that we know thus far in terms of the schedule leaks. And the Detroit Lions will be a tough matchup and a good way how to kind of end the season within the last 3 weeks, facing some tough opponents, getting ready for the playoffs. So, Detroit Lions on the road in Week 16. So, just kind of recapping this, most of the games we know so far are one home opener, and everything else is basically a primetime game or just road games. We don't really know much about the home games thus far. We'll get to see that. And some of it is based off the Pittsburgh Pirates schedule. And apparently the Pittsburgh Steelers won't have a home game other than the home opener for like the first 5 weeks of the season. Other than obviously the Week 2 matchup, which is a home opener against the Seahawks. So apparently that's the case. But we'll wait and see until later tonight when the full schedule is revealed on NFL Network. But right now, these are the leaks that we know this far before that time. So, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. First, about the new running back that we signed and the running back that we released. Do you think Max Hurleman has a good shot to make this roster? Or do you believe, like I believe, that he's just a camp body? And also, how do you feel about Shamklin getting released by this team? Who would you have kept out of those two running backs on the roster? Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the schedule leaks thus far. And out of these games I just told you, which one are you most excited for? And also, what do you think the Steelers' record is going to be this season based off the games that we know thus far? So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, that's the end of this video, so make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis, reports, everything surrounding this team, covering this team. I'll do it, and I have done it thus far. Every new player, doesn't matter who it is, their introduction is on the channel, just like Max today. So, the schedule comes out later, and I'll cover all that as well and reveal the full schedule. So stay tuned when that comes out. More than likely, just to give you a heads up, that video will be around somewhere between 9 p.m. Eastern Time or a little bit later, depending when it comes out exactly. So stay tuned for that and everything else surrounding Pittsburgh Steelers football. Like this video, subscribe, turn notifications, and until next time, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.